As far as the next film, I've got 3 ideas. If you want to hear them, I can tell you. All right, I'll tell you. I'll give you the quick synopsis of each, and then you vote and tell me which one I should do, and then that's the one I'll start working on. Okay? All right. The first one is I was on Larry King a couple months ago, and at the end of the show, he says to me, "I got the title for your shortest movie." If you ever make your shortest movie, I got the title for it. I said, "Really? What's that?" "Things I like." I said, "I like a lot of things." And then I broke into song. These are a few of my favorite things. Free health care. Paper ballots. That's when I started thinking, my travels around the world, so many countries do things that they've tried and it works, and we should just steal their ideas and we'd be better off. So I started thinking, I should make a film called Things I Like, or call it Mike's Happy Movie. The All Solution No Problem movie. And I just skip and dance through the whole movie, and I take you around the world and show you what they're doing in other countries. So, for instance, Finland, the kids' test scores were going down, down, down. They couldn't figure out what's going on here. And then they decided, you know what this is? We give them too much homework. They're up till midnight doing homework. They should be out playing and socializing with kids and learning to get along with other people and be happy, because a happy student will do better in school. And so Finland, essentially, got rid of homework a few years ago. Seriously. There's like an hour, I guess I don't know what the number is, it's like an hour of homework. And go on the internet, they're like at 1 or 2 in every category. Science, math, reading. Their scores have all shot up because the kids are happy, and get this, they actually get 8 hours sleep. Instead of at bed at midnight or 1 a.m. at 14 years old, and then up at 5 a.m. to get on the bus to go to school. Why do we do that to our kids? That's what they do. So I would show how our kids will have a better life if we can give them so much homework. And I might put physical therapists out of business 10 years from now with the backpacks with the books. These kids on their necks and their shoulders are a mess. Then I would go to Canada and I would show, here's how they vote. They use a paper ballot and a number 2 pencil. A little piece of paper and a pencil. And they have all the votes tabulated 3 hours after the election is done. The polls close. This is the 2nd largest landmass in the world next to Russia. They have to get all these ballots in from the Yukon out halfway across the Atlantic. And they do it in 3 hours. And they've got to bring these things in by dog sled, baby seal, backs of baby seal, canoes. They get them all counted. And you never hear any, anybody contesting their elections, right? Because they old school it. It's simple, it doesn't cost much money, and it's verifiable. Because when the polls close at Central Grade School, if this was in Canada, there'd be a big table in the gym, they'd pour all the ballots out on the table, a party representative from each of the 5 parties would be there, and the ballots would be stacked in the pile. You know, the liberal, the conservative, the green, etc. And then everyone could you could sit in the bleachers and watch the votes being counted in your neighborhoods. So I just keep gathering all these ideas, like the French idea where they provide the person who will come do your laundry for you after you have a kid. And I just thought if we tried some of these things, it will require not invading other countries and spending trillions of dollars to do that. So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2 is something I'm calling in the year 2525, where I got to thinking, when anthropologists do dig us up 500 years from now, they're not going to understand us at all. We're going to look totally insane to them for the way we do things and what we've done. You know what I'm saying? They're not. I've always felt like we're going to have to leave a note behind to explain our actions. Why did we behave this way? Why did we put yogurt into a toothpaste tube? Why did we put a hamburger into a glazed donut bun? Why were we riding around in scooters when we weren't handicapped? Just lazy. You know, why couldn't we plug a 7-inch hole in the ocean bed? That's all that was, 7 inches. It took almost 90 days. We we can't catch a 6'5" Arab guy who's on dialysis. We're so disgustingly lame. So I imagine like a conference of scholars in the year 2525, where they're issuing white papers trying to study the Americans of the early 21st century, and all that's left behind is this one hard drive that this guy in a ball cap left behind. Trying to explain to them. And so the whole movie is an explanation of this. The third idea is why our daily newspapers are dying, and it's they just briefly, it's part of the dumbing down of the society. The newspapers are in large part responsible for it. It's not the internet. The European papers are not dying. Why aren't they dying? They got the internet there last month. So why haven't they died? It's not the internet that's killing it. They've killed themselves for two reasons. The business model of our newspapers is the number one source of income is advertising. But in Europe, it's circulation. They depend on circulation to survive. If you're going to make the readers responsible for your survival, you better put out a damn good newspaper that people are going to want to put a euro down for. Damn good. And they do. The other reason is that in the 17 elections between 1940 and 2004, the majority of daily newspapers in this country endorsed the Republican for president in 14 of the 17 elections. In other words, the newspapers endorsed the party that wanted to eliminate the Department of Education, that wants to give as little money as possible to education, and wants to destroy the teachers' unions. That's the political philosophy of that party. And why would you endorse a party that's trying to eliminate your readership? Because now in America, 40 million adults are functional illiterates, which means they cannot read and write above a 4th grade level. 40 million. They've contributed, they've slit their own throat by creating a more stupid country. When Ellsberg said that yesterday, that the poll was just taken this week, that about Iran, as we get ready for the next war, 71% of the American public now believes Iran already has nuclear weapons. 71%. Same number that believes Saddam planned 9/11. So we know what we live amongst. The newspapers have contributed to the stupidity of this. It would be like them endorsing the Republican in 14 and 17 elections. It would be like General Motors lobbying to eliminate driver ed from high school. That's a good deal for GM, right? Or Ford, or any other car. They get free consumers being taught with our tax dollars. This would be a more serious film about why the daily newspapers are dying. Now it's time to vote. Just to recap. Choice number 1, Things I Like, with musical and dance numbers. Woo! In the year 2025, an explanation of who we are to the people in the future with apologies. And a serious film about the destruction of our daily newspapers. Woo! Woo! Okay, so now it's a revote between 1 and 3, okay? 1, Mike's Happy Movie, and 3 is the newspapers. All those in favor of Mike's Happy Movie, Things I Like, let's hear it.